I'm sorry if y'all hear like air. It is very hot, and I cannot be like worried about y'all hearing me clear at the risk of me overheating, baby, because I'm in my 40s and we don't play that. But before we get into it, y'all, you know what to do, y'all. Thumbs up. Well, I'm gonna stop calling y'all all and call y'all chat. All right, chat. So thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment. If you are in the replay, please say hashtag replay and all that jazz. Okay, so this is something that I'm going to do. I'm going to try my best in doing and basically recapping the week. We are also um, we are adding another character or to the docket or another storyline on the Latruth Saga. It's near and dear to me. It's one of my first stories that I've ever talked about in being in the career of content creating or being a commentator, which is the So Chanel Chronicles. So look out for that. In fact, a video will be dropping today of the So Chanel Chronicles and how it all began. All right, guys, and but let's first let's go through some of Miss Brittany because Miss Brittany is the star. Now, let me let y'all know about some things that happened this week. Babe, babe, can you are you have your phone? Can you tell me if you can hear me? I want to make sure people can hear me. You are doing your thing with these videos, love. Thank you, Miss Joy. Okay, that's a regular. I appreciate you, darling. To God be the glory, because God has given me the wind beneath my wings. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, we're gonna this week, yeah, it was some drama with the we're gonna call him, he's no longer Robert, he's now Miss Briana's what? Ex-husband. That's his name, y'all. Why? Because y'all let me know y'all didn't like it. So I'm like, if y'all don't like it, that means I gotta say it so y'all can get used to the fact that he is what? Miss Briana's ex-husband. Yeah, they came down on me, y'all. It was I had to pray up. I had to stay up. I had to remember that one character or that one chat person, the person who left a comment in my section. She said, "Be careful, y'all, because the Brianna's ex-husband camp are full of demons." That's I mean basically that's what she said. It didn't make the cut because I didn't want to spread that in the comments, but I was warned, and I took that as a basically a warning from God to suit up and boot up. And when I didn't say boo up, I said suit and boot, BOOT, boot up, because these people are about it. Why? Because they literally worship this man. They worship him. I mean, it is what it is. They don't know better. They don't know that you're not supposed to what? Put any God before the ultimate capital OG, still living God today. All right. And so I feel for them and I pray that a few of them, if not, I know all of them are not going to get delivered, but at least a few. So I go into this saying, look, they know no better. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. So the first person we're going to talk about, of course, is Miss Brittany. Why? Because she is the plug. That's one thing that her ex-husband has done. He is making stars. He made Miss Vivica. We didn't know anything about Miss Vivica. You get what I'm saying, did we? We didn't know jack about Miss Vivica. And now Miss Vivica is putting out all of her photos and her young photos and her chat photos or whatever it is. She is out there. She is giving the tea on how to be a woman of God, how to have wisdom and discernment. And I feel like this channel has helped her. I'm sure she's on this channel. Miss Bevaka, if you're here, you can say hello to me. It's cool. Because I feel for you, darling. I said the first person is Miss Brittany, but we'll get to her. I feel for Miss Vivica. The reason being is Miss Vivica was fooled. Now, one thing about Miss Vivica, the reason why she got away, and honey, you might be feeling that, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed. Oh my gosh, I really love this man. Oh my gosh, I really put my heart out there. I really dated him while he was married. He convinced me that this woman cheated on him. Miss Brittany did not cheat on her ex-husband. Why? Because he's Jonas. Yeah, he's Jonas. It is what it is. If you know who Jonas is, say I in the comments, because I know that you have watched this Netflix whatever. So who in here knows who Jonas is? Anybody? Going once, going twice. I can't wait because this has to be good in the replay. All right, so Jonas is the character from the series, the 22 series on Netflix called The Polygamist. And this is why I'm introducing So Chanel as well to this channel, because she too, at one time, convinced herself that she was a polygamist. Miss Joy, you said you wasn't watching it. Are you going to watch it now? Are you? Did I convert you over to go ahead and watch it? Because the polygamist is not. I'm gonna tell you this. It's not promoting polygamy, and so I advise everyone who is Miss Briana's ex-husband's, uh, Briana's ex-husband's camp. I advise at least 15 to 20% of you guys go and watch The Polygamist. And because God basically told me to do this to save this man, because his shrimp is going to get him in trouble. See, a lot of men allow their shrimp to get them in trouble. Okay, I know that shrimp is great. I know that shrimp makes lives, but that shrimp, if it's not treated correctly, can really get you in trouble. It will have you going down to the stairway to hell. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. So yes, he was Jonas, and I'm gonna say Miss Brittany was Joyce. I'm gonna honestly say that Miss Brittany, her character is Joyce. Okay, and yes, if you're gonna intend to watch this, I'm giving you like the sprinkle of salt, so you can go in there not being completely blind with what you're going through. I mean, going to watch, but I'm not going to give you any spoilers. But Joyce is the main wife. And so I feel like that was Miss Brittany. Until he has a second wife, Miss Brittany is always going to be his first wife. She's never going to be demoted from that. That is his ex-wife, and that's his first wife, and his first marriage, and her first marriage. So there is not going to be any other marriage that's going to have that merit, because you never forget your first, right? You never forget your first marriage. It's either even if you divorce, you're always going to go back to your first marriage to kind of like say, what am I not going to do in this marriage? Not to mention they have children together. So until Miss Phony Braxton has a child with him, Miss Brittany's always going to have that first tier. It is what it is. And she's Joyce. And he thought that he was fooling Miss Brittany by saying, hey, let's bring in some other people into our marriage. And Miss Joyce was like, look, I'm sorry, Miss Brittany was like, look, I don't have to have you around to be a part of this polygamy community. She said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get some other men too. And that's what she did. So Miss Vivica, they both cheated. Oh, he cheated. Oh, she cheated and she broke the covenant. They broke the covenant of their marriage as soon as they brought another party into the situation. So they're both cheaters, they're both liars, they're both deceivers, they're both adulterers. And so Miss Velica, you came into that relationship and you thought that you was gonna what save the day and with Sir Robert out of his marriage and all of that, and you did all that stuff, and then it just basically blew up in your face. And so when I first started talking about this on my other channel, remember I said he's just not into you as well. I also said that you're looking like a fool out here because he's saying he's single. You're saying that's my man. You brought him in your house during his tough times like a sore puppy. It is what it is. You brought this sore puppy into your home who was gaunt and not eating, just getting out of a horrible marriage, having dealings with his wellness, and you nursed this man back to health. You nursed him back to health. You're like Essie. Oh, you didn't know that you were like a second wife, did you? You didn't know that, did you? Oh, Miss Vivica. Yes, you was like his second wife. Essie. Uh-huh. And you were there to support him in his time of need. Why? Because you were there the whole time witnessing everything that this man was doing to this woman, weren't you? And you just said, you know what? I'm going to come in and I'm going to save him. All the while, you were saving a snake. Right, Miss Vivica? I'm just keeping it real. You were saving a snake, and because that snake was ill, you thought that he would not bite. And as soon as he felt good, as soon as he was getting his strength out, as soon as things were getting better, he kicked you to the curb. And for that, I have compassion for you. But never do that again. Never ever feel like you are going to what? Save a married man. Why? Because he's married. And that first wife is always going to be the person that he looks to. Now, I'm going to tell you this real deal, Holyfield. That's just how I feel. Hey, gang fam. Yup. What's up? What's up, y'all? Make sure you double tap the screen, you guys. Double tap the screen. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Ms. Briana and her shenanigans this week. Let's see. Let's check over on her page, y'all, because she's still over there twisting it up, y'all, having fun and all that. She's still celebrating her birthday and all that jazz. I made sure I turned my phone down because she always popping and locking. All right, so she has something in her stories. It says, fellas, you don't need a lot of women, just to wait. Hold up. This is what it says. Fellas, you don't need a lot of women, just a good one with about 5 wigs. What does she mean about that? Of course, she shared somebody else's stuff, but you know, whatever we share, we believe in. What does she mean about that? See, she's talking about that polygamy. See, she's watching this show. She's watching this channel. I'm just keeping it 100. She's basically saying, look, she is every woman. It's all in her. Even though that whole goddamn song is about witchcraft. Y'all got to listen to the words of that song, y'all. It's literally about witchcraft, okay? But we're going to go ahead and still talk about it. So she's saying that she can basically please her man just with her. If you want a different woman, all I got to do is put on a different wig. All I got to do is put on some different clothes. All I got to do is learn how to cook and get. I can be everything. And so I'm going to honestly say that Miss Brittany, she wants to be the one and only. And what woman doesn't? What woman doesn't? A woman who accepts polygamy or a woman who accepts cheating, which let's just keep it real. Cheating is polygamy. The special that I'm talking about is actually called the polygamist and things like that. So he was a man who cheated on his wives and then tried to say, okay, well, you're my wife, you're my wife, you're my wife. Nah, he's a polygamist. And so she never wanted to get married, Miss Brittany, and I'm not speaking for her, I'm just observing the story. She never wanted to get married to be with a man who cheats on her. And so what I'm understanding is that, you know, because he married a woman who, you know, at the time was an exotic dancer or whatever, which is a living, right? And he thought that he could convert her into something different. But I really feel like he married her so he would have an excuse to be a polygamist. Do you guys agree or disagree? Okay? I need you guys to double tap the screen. Double tap the screen for your girl. It helps the video. It helps me. It gives me some type of um, feel good that makes me feel like you guys are listening. So please have compassion for me, the host, that when you guys are at least hitting the screen, it's letting me know that you're listening and you're you know, interested. Okay? So please double tap the screen. But would you agree? You get what I'm saying? That he married her because he didn't want somebody who was completely like innocent, didn't have children, didn't have baggage. And when he was ready to be a polygamist or a person who goes out, unless this is all RH camp. Is this all everybody in here is RH camp? So let me ask you guys a question. All these darn CC content creators that I didn't get the memo that everybody is on RH side that makes these videos. Am I correct? Wow. So God really did set me apart, huh? I'm not a part of that crew because I never watched RH. I only came on there when everything turned up and when he started basically when they started to uh get a divorce. That's when I came on there. So I don't have an alliance to neither one of these people, and so I'm different. So I'm just letting y'all know it's nothing personal. But yeah, I feel like this. I feel that he married her because at any time he could go out and have another woman, at any time he could do what he wants because he's with this wayward woman. So it wasn't love, it was what convenience, in my opinion. Same thing with his situation now. He doesn't want a Christian woman. First of all, he's not Christian. He doesn't believe in God. And he doesn't want a woman who's fully clean. This woman's a shaman, so she feels like she can come in and like bewitch and flick her hand and breathe 3 times, and everybody in the room is under her spell, including you, Miss What? Including you, Sir Robert, or what I said, Miss Brittany's ex-husband. So yeah, this post that she put, fellas, you don't need a lot of women, just a good one with about 5 wigs. This is saying that she never wanted to enter a marriage with what? Having polygamy in it. She didn't. And for that, I have compassion for her because I guess she got, you know, bamboozled, letter struck. She thought she was in a, what is it, a monogamous marriage. She thought she was in a legitimate, godly marriage. And, as far as it's just going to be her and him in that marriage, okay? All right. So she's just in there. She's enjoying her children again. I guess she's home, and things like that. Always got to have the girls out and things like that. I just want this girl to be honest. I want this young lady to get delivered from just showing herself, because the thing about it is nobody is going to listen to what's coming out of your mouth. Nobody is going to hear your story if you always got your skin popping out. And I'm going to continue to repeat this over and over again until this girl learns that you too can actually be sultry, you can be cute, and you can be covered. You can be cute, covered, and all of that, and still be okay. I want you to read a book. I want you to put those 3 degrees that you claim to have or do have. I'm not going to take that away from her. I'm not going to be the content creator that takes away the fact that she has 3 degrees. We don't know how hard this girl struggled to get through school. Remember, she became a mother in her teens. So, when women accomplish degrees or diplomas or any kind of licensing, they are going to be, for lack of a better term, proud of that. Even though I'm not in the hair game at the moment, I am very, very happy to the fact that I finished hair school after the 3rd time. I went to hair school 3 times. It wasn't to the 3rd time that God allowed me to go all the way and finish. And then I got my senior license 2 years later. I was able to own a hair salon and all of that. I got to do all of that. And so, that's an achievement, and the achievement that the Lord allowed me to have. So I love the fact that, yeah, I'm not going to take that away from her. She has 3 degrees. And one thing I don't like the fact is I renew my license every few years for hair, and I'm not using it. And so God is telling me I need to use it. If it's no more than write books about hair. It's one thing I don't have to do. I don't have to necessarily do hair to still be licensed. And so I can always say I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I can write books. I can help people get their hair back. I can help people to keep their hair intact so it doesn't break off. And so I say that to say that you guys wouldn't even know I had that unless I told you. And so the fact that she's saying, hey, I had 3 degrees, I went this, I did this, that's saying that that's something she did outside of being a retail person. I worked retail. I had a job. I had a regular job. I had many regular jobs in my 20s. I didn't just wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want to be a content creator," because content creation wasn't around 20 years ago when I was in the prime of my working career. You get what I'm saying? So, one thing I do on this page is I come from a human woman standpoint, not somebody who just want to sit there and literally bash this lady and things. And I ask you guys, and I respect every content creator out there. But anybody who is keep calling her a B, please stop doing that. I really have to say that in my heart, because I know it's some content creators in here right now. Please stop calling this girl the B word. It is very damaging. First of all, it is damaging to yourself. Think about it. You pick up some ice off the ground and you're like, this ice, I'm going to throw at somebody, right? I literally saw a video yesterday of these young girls who worked at working at a fast food joint. I'm not going to say which one, but they were fussing, arguing with a DoorDash, I guess a DoorDash driver. So it's 3 women. It's 2 women on the fast food side, and then it's 1 woman fussing and things. And so what they were doing was literally throwing drinks on this lady and closing the door. So they were literally throwing rocks and hiding their hands. Okay? And I'm saying this because they were throwing juice at her, soda at her. But do you think that them throwing juice at her, that they didn't get wet, that they didn't have a mess inside of the store? Yes, of course. So what's my point? When you're calling this woman a B, you are actually getting the scum on yourself too. You're letting me know how your mama talked to you as a child. You're letting me know how you talk to your own children as well when you're calling another woman a B. What gives anybody the right to call another woman or man a B? That is not endearing. That is not cool. Okay? It's not calm and it's not collective. Let's stop calling each other that because it's making you look bad. I haven't heard Miss Brittany call nobody a B. Now, I'm not saying this girl is innocent. We do call her a Jezebel spirit, and I'm not saying that I am Brittany on Brittany's side. But what side I am on, or whose side I'm on, is God, and God is love. And so the point of the matter is when you constantly call Miss Brittany a B, it's telling me first of all you're not saved. Secondly, you don't read the word. You can't call her such a hateful word and then say Jesus and God got me and all. You cannot do that. You get what I'm saying? You have to choose what type of language you're gonna use. You're gonna have to choose what God you serve. Are you gonna serve the enemy? So you can go back 1,500 videos that I've made on this saga. I don't know. It's literally like 300 though. It's a lot of videos between this channel and another channel I have. And I never called that girl a B. Never. Why? Because I don't call women B's in the first place. I would never call my daughter a B. I wouldn't want her to be around me if I could talk like that. Because that's kind of crazy because a lot of people have lost their lives just after that word B. Oh yeah. If you say that, oh that's fighting words. You get what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't know how to take that in stride and say, "Oh, youngster, you just whatever." Let's stop using that word. Cancel that word. And I'm gonna tell you, we make curses on ourselves. So when you talk about people, understand that when you are talking about a topic as deep as this topic called the saga, and for me, so Chanel Chronicles, these two stories, I had to humble myself. I had to go through a lot. God had to work on me on my anger. He had to work on me and on my words. And I just asked God every time to always put the words in my mouth and what I'm saying. Like today, this is all godly words that's coming from me. It's coming from my heart. It says, whatever's in your heart, it comes out. So when you say B, B, B to this lady online, that's saying that's in your heart. And it's aging you and it's going to make you sick. And it's going to cause people like myself to not want to listen to your commentary because you cuss so much. You get what I'm saying? I just read in Proverbs yesterday, we're not supposed to have a mouthful of crud. Like what we speak are not supposed to be negative like that. I was speaking to my husband this morning. I thought I was being endearing to him and I used a certain word. And I said, oh my gosh, once I read that yesterday, I said, oh Lord, forgive me. Please forgive me for even using this term. Even though it is endearing, my husband said, yes, it's another way you can say that without saying that word. You get what I'm saying? I'm getting a little tickled even thinking about it. But I'm trying to be a Proverbs 31 woman, you guys, and so I have to pass that on to you. But do what you will. If it makes you money, if it makes you feel good, if it's been working for you, then hey, keep going. But you can't say you ain't hear me warn you about calling this young lady a B because it's not improving her. I'm tired of people keep coming under my comments as well and saying she's not going to listen. She's not going to listen. She's not going to listen. It's not about her listening. It's about me being obedient and taking this channel that was gifted to me and be a good example of how you talk to people. So whether Miss Brittany gets what I'm saying, hears what I'm saying, or ever changes is not my concern. It is my mission to not just help her, but to help whomever listens to this commentary. So it's not just about Miss Brittany or her ex-husband or Miss Vivica. It's not. I have to say Miss Vivica like that because it's just like, who wants to just say Vivica? You gotta say Miss Vivica. And they tried to take my name, but you can't take my voice and you can't take my swag. So you can sit here and try to copy me. You can't copy me. I can only be myself. You can only be yourself. You have to ask God to help you, help him clean up you. Don't say, hey, I want to be like her. No, no, you got to be like you. Okay. I remember years ago when I started this, somebody said, man, you did this whole commentary and did not cuss. I don't know what content creator told me that or said that under my comments, because you know everybody has at least two profiles, right? It is what it is. They have their professional profile and then they got their undercover. I go under everybody's comments with my real profile. Wow. Why? Because I'm a good woman. I would never do it with this one though, because I'm building this one and I wouldn't want to overshadow anybody. So I would never go and try to talk to somebody under, but I will do under my other business one. And so I don't say anything that I can't, be met with. Another thing, the word says that even to the people who are saying she'll never listen, the word says that a wicked person would still listen to some or respect a person who speaks wisdom. Okay? So even if she doesn't listen and she never changes, even though I see subtle changes, they're very subtle. Subtle means you darn near can't even see it. That's what subtle means. So it's not just about her, and she does respect me. She came against me too. It is what it is. I went through it. And I also said, God got me and God has covered everything. I got it back. Everything that she tried during her time of storms, we got it back. But honey, I've never been the same. Okay? It is what it is. So just a warning, just be careful on how you speak about this story, because it's very deep, it's very spiritual, and to speak about it is a luxury. So be careful. All right, guys, let me see what you guys are saying, because I am very long-winded. I believe that he is competitive, and because his brother has two, he feels he should just as much. Yeah, well, honey, polygamy is really, we're not promoting polygamy here. His look, his brother doesn't have two nothing. It's just two women living in a darn fantasy world, thinking that they have a husband, but they don't. I don't even think he's legally married to either one of them. I don't know. Okay, you guys let me know. And really, to be honest, I don't care. It's disgusting. You guys are sharing the same shrimp. Ew, ew, ew. And then you have people going around saying she stinks. She has this. BBL stinks. Well, the thing about it is, it's gonna smell, because it is something that God is. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. It is a blessing to go around. Any woman who can say they don't have an odor, I would never make fun of somebody who has an odor. Never in my life. I'm gonna tell you that is a true embarrassment to a woman. And I don't get off calling that girl stank, and that's nasty. Now, what stank is the lifestyle. But honey, we all are women, honey. We all have this thing called the honey pot, if you will. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna ruin my honey pot for nobody because I want to speak ill on another woman. This woman obviously does not know better. I'm gonna tell you, the reason why a lot of women have these issues with BV and all of that, and you guys need to get my book. Okay, y'all, you guys need to get my book, because I have a whole book out here on this topic and on how to get you fresh and right. It is what it is. It's my fault because I don't push anything, because I'm like, God, I don't want people to think I'm doing this for money. Well, honey, I can't pay for none of my bills without with my looks. And the word says that He would make your passion or make your gifts. I don't know the exact thing. I'm gonna get my husband and look it up, but it's in the Bible. It's basically saying He will make your gift your way of making a living. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the reason why women have this issue is because of what they eat and who they sleep with. It's spiritual. I can take it from a spiritual standpoint. I can also take it to a physical standpoint. If you don't drink water, which I've never seen this girl in 4 years almost, drink water. Drink water, boo boo. Get you a nice pink cup. You like pink, Miss Brittany? I do too, but I'm not that girly. I actually have a blue thermos. Get you a nice stainless steel thermos, Miss Brittany, honey. I'm about to give you some real cute tea. Go ahead and make a video of this. This is my gift to you and anybody else. Get you some lemon, get you some lime. Your girl drinks lemon and lime in every water. So I drink 64 ounces of lemon lime water. 64 ounces is a half a gallon. Okay? If you are 200 pounds, you should be making what? You should be drinking 100 ounces of water. If you are 125 pounds, you should be about 67 ounces of water a day. So basically what I'm saying is you should be drinking water half of your what? Your weight. That's a little key. And then you take some fresh lemon, some fresh lime, My husband makes this for me every day because he wants everything fresh. These men today, they don't know that they ain't supposed to have a twang, ain't supposed to have a stirring, ain't supposed to have nothing. It's supposed to be like Wilder, WADA, Wilder, okay? It is what it is. So if the way that you want to present it to your man is what you have to eat. So you have to drink water so it can what? Be like water. And so you do lemon and lime because lemon and lime, if you look it up, they are detoxers. Lemon and lime are detoxers. Okay, they help your liver, which is your detox organ, helps your liver to get rid of things that ain't supposed to be there. It is what it is. Your liver needs help every day. Okay, we don't know what this girl eats, and I can just talk for myself. Everything I don't smoke, I don't drink. Thank God. Those things are debilitators of the liver. That's why I'm saying to Sir Latruth, please stop drinking because your liver is going to suffer for that. And that's anybody's liver. You don't want cirrhosis of the liver. You don't want your liver to break down. You guys need to look up livers, Sir Robert. Look up a liver that someone drinks. They have pictures on Google of livers that are from people who drank. They have pictures on Google of lungs that smoke. If you look at these type of pictures, it will help you to stop all these things that are causing you wellness problems. Okay. Hopefully, the admin will pin my book to this comment section so you guys can purchase the book. It's a nominal fee. Okay. I think it's $19.99, but it's going to be $20 well spent. Okay. But yeah, get you some water, Miss Brittany, and whomever else, men too, because you guys can have issues as well. And go ahead and drink that lemon and water. Whatever your weight is, drink half of that with lemon and lime every day. That is going to help whatever is going on as far as BV or anything like that that's going on. Women who have a lot of yeast infections, I have a lot of information in this book about how to keep your situation from producing so much yeast. Okay, but I can tell she doesn't do lemon and lime. If you have that thrush on your tongue, that thick white paste, this book will be good for you too, because I'm gonna tell you everything that our honey pot produces, it stems from the gut. So if your gut is not balanced, you're gonna have an odor. You're gonna have thick mucus. You're gonna have a lot of discharge. You're not gonna be someone that is a good place for intimacy. It is what it is. People think it's soap, right? Soap is just going to clean the outside. You can't put soap on the inside, okay? And so the only way that you're able to clean the inside, of course, is from what you eat. And so that's why sometimes, women can be fine up until intimacy happens. And what happens is when that intimacy happens, it's pulling out all of that crud that might be hiding inside of the woman. And so men make fun of it, women make fun of it, but I'm not going to make fun of it because it can lead to a lot of issues. It can lead to infertility. It can lead to different issues, diseases, if you don't get that yeast and bad bacteria down. So if it has an odor, that means you're just imbalanced. Okay. And so, yeah, get that book. It'll help you to understand your body. A lot of us women, we have children, we have cycles, we deal with this honeypot daily, but we don't know what how it truly works. And so I've studied this for a long time and how to help women with that. So yeah, I mean, it's like I'm not going to make fun of somebody who does that because that means more than likely you might have problems too, but you just basically blasting off on this girl trying to make yourself feel better. No, she just has a lot of problems. You have to understand, she didn't have good parenting. Her parents were not parenting her. She literally probably had to just raise herself. Let's just keep it real. Let me check the comments. Let me check the chat. Chat, y'all are very, very quiet. I don't know why they're so quiet in here. Are you guys shy or are your darn comments being blocked? Babe, are that comment is the comments on? Let me see. Blocked words. Oh my gosh. Oh my Lord. No wonder, look, no wonder none of y'all comment. You know my block list has thousands of words on it. My comments have a lot of words on it. I'm gonna have to take that off. But what? Yeah. It you ooh, this is oh my be in here. Ew. Wow, I have an ironclad block list. Okay, Miss Melanie, you're working but listening. Okay, I hope you liked the video. Miss Melanie, yeah, thank you so much. All right, so yeah, I don't make fun of Miss Thang. I don't make fun of her, and God has allowed me to talk about this for years. He told me, and He'll talk to you just like I'm talking to you. If you're really, really have this great relationship with this really, you're ironclad with the Lord, He will send the Holy Spirit, and the words will come out in your ear as clear as I'm talking to you right now. I kid you not. Okay, it is what it is. All right, so let's go over there. Let's check up on Miss Brittany, and I'm almost like comfortable with her. Like I know this girl. I don't know her. I do not know her. But if you talk about somebody so much and you identify as being a helper, even though she's not listening, I don't care. She's listening. Trust me, she is listening. All right. So somebody in her last one says, I guess this is how she makes her money, half dressed and shaking. She makes her money because we watch her, right? I could be half dressed and shaking, and I probably wouldn't make no money from it because first of all, I wouldn't do that. Secondly, it's just not going to work. That's just not how I was raised. Like I said, she has bad raising. She doesn't make her money by that. What she makes her money by is because people watch it. It's more people who watch negative stuff than positive. I shouldn't say that because I feel like I'm in the positive realm, and God says God's camp and God's army is huge, and his people are huge. That the world wants to say that it's not a lot of us. It is a lot of us, but the world is just corrupt. And so the thing about it is, with Miss Brittany, you have to understand, right? She's very superficial because that's probably how she was raised. She probably heard that she's pretty. She probably heard. I mean, I've seen some photos of her before the work it was done, and she looked totally different. But she was beautiful before. She just at the picture that I've seen, it just had her hair all over the place, and her nose was a little wider. But she might have been pregnant or something. I don't know. And nobody told that girl at a young age to embrace herself and say, look, you are beautiful the way you are. My dad, he raised me. He didn't want me to be vain. This is what he said. He said, "You're pretty, but there's always someone prettier." I heard that at 8 or 9 years old. Okay, so my father wanted me to understand. You can do anything you want out here. You can try your best to be the most beautifulest thing in the world, but there's always somebody that's gonna look better than you. So I'm gonna say that to Miss Brittany. Okay, you didn't know my father, but you know him kind of sort of through me. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, girl, you can be doing all this stuff, but there's always somebody out there better. And so if you are competing against the world and trying to get people to look at you solely on your body, you're wasting your time because there's somebody out here who is going to do it better. And you're always going to be in competition. She's in competition with herself. She's in competition with herself. She always gotta, be out there and just put that body yada yada out there. That's just what she does. That's all she knows. But I'm telling her, you have other talent. Don't you have a pink room? Don't you have a pink chair? That one of these gaming chairs, you have a whole pink room. Why don't you make a little show in there? People would love to know who Miss Brittany is outside of all of the other stuff she does. All this TikToking, dancing, and all that, honey, I don't foresee you doing this for another 4 or 5 years. Eventually, when you get into your 40s, even though Miss So Chanel that we talk about is literally in her mid 40s and still doing TikToks and shaking off and having half her body out there. Wait for that storyline to come onto the page. It's probably on there already if it's 1 o'clock. But yeah, I mean, she still tries, but she looks ridiculous. I would love her to go ahead and embrace her mid age and just start to be the woman that she is, which is an awesome talker, an awesome storyteller, an awesome dresser. I mean, Miss So Chanel, she can push the limelight, the glamorous life very well. Okay, I mean that's just her gift. It is what it is, and if she turned it to positivity, she would make so much money. Okay, and so with Miss Brittany, if she just turned her urban, I'm a single mom, honey. If you wrote ebooks, if you talked about your how you became a mom at 15 and 16, and what you loved about motherhood, instead of saying I wasn't born to be a mother. Obviously, God did make you to be a mom. You wouldn't have 6 children if you weren't, you know, supposed to be a mom. And you're supposed to be a great mom. And the things about being a parent is we're supposed to take what our parents did that was not good, put that down, and actually try to basically whatever they taught us that was positive, to go and imitate that, and actually build upon that. And so she has such a great audience. She has you know, access to people that I didn't have access to. You know, when we were 20 years ago, there was no social media. So whoever you knew in the flesh, that's all you knew. Now you're able to get in touch with thousands of people that you'll never know in the flesh, but you get to know information from people just by having a great platform. And so I'm telling her, she has that pink room. Make that pink room your money. Put your body down. Let that rest. It ages and it will betray you. And you can't always go on someone's table to correct something by a nip and tuck. Eventually, you're just going to have to use that mouth of yours, the mouthpiece that we all have, and make it worth your living as far as helping people. Shaking your tail is not helping your community, it's bringing it down. Do you know how many women have lost their lives just by shaking their tails, just by sleeping with somebody who they did not know? If you are promoting, and I think she knows that the devil part of her, the Jezebel part, knows that the algorithms, so they want you to think, only wants to circulate the negativity of life. And so that's what she's doing. And for that, we as God's people have to continue to pray for souls like that, because we're supposed to have what? Compassion. Okay? She raised herself. Yeah, that's what somebody said. She raised herself. Guys, can y'all help me get 7 more likes? It's enough people in here for me to get 7 more likes. You can like, you can hit the 3 dots, you can double tap. Okay, um that's all I'm asking for you guys to do, is give me 7 more likes. All right, but let's go through these comments. Welcome back home to the Carolinas. Let's see, remove that concealed what. 98% of her people support her lifestyle. She has literally blocked everybody who would say this. And I think that's why a lot of people bridged off and they made their pages to talk about her, because you guys did not allow people to be real and talk to you under your platforms. You got to allow people to express themselves, right? Now, I'm not saying for them to, you know, allow them to disrespect you, but you have to allow people to express what they feel, because they're there to what? Help. Now, biblically, we all know that fools do not want to what? They don't want to change. Please take that off my computer. Excuse me, y'all. All right, we need 5 more likes, y'all. 5 more likes. Can we get 5 more likes, please? Yes. And if you guys are, look, I'm going to tell you, it takes a lot of energy for me to sit here and talk. I'm talking literally to the air, hardly looking at my screen. And it helps me when you guys say hello. Do you guys want me to say my name or something? Because I ain't telling my name for a while. So just say hello to me. It helps me to let me know that you guys are listening. I mean, I can keep going, but I am trying to build a community here. So I have to ask you guys to say hello. I don't care if you're working or whatever. Please just either say hello or help me by what? Double tapping the screen. And that helps me get a like. So hopefully I can get to somebody who will chat with me. Okay? Or ask questions. I don't know who's in here. Do you guys know about the story? Are you guys oblivious to the story? Because I don't know who's in here. Okay, so let me know if you are oblivious to what I am talking about. please put up a number 7 in the chat. If you are completely oblivious to the content in which I am talking about, but still interested, please put up a number 7 in the chat. Please put up a number 7 in the chat. Okay. So, to those who may not know about this, Miss Brittany and this whole saga, even though it's called the True Saga, the channel is not just going to be about that, but it's going to be about probably 85%. It's going to be about this storyline because this storyline has been going on for so long. Okay, so these people, Miss Melanie, okay, so you're completely oblivious to this, but yet you told me that she raised herself. How is that even possible, husband?
Well, maybe she's a new follower.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Miss Melanie, this is for you. Okay. So, the woman she might be like oblivious because I'm calling her Miss Brittany. We know her name here. It is actually what the title. You know, I have the title name in there. We all know the names, but I'm not. I don't want to use their names because I'm trying to make this like a reality show in my mind. Who wants to use the real names? I know I wouldn't want my real name used. Okay. So yeah, Miss Brittany and Sir Robert, they were married back in the day. Their marriage ended in 2000 and I think 22. I think they started, or 23, one of those. Um, they started to basically get a divorce and they were finalized in 2024. And so he is off now. He's supposed to be getting married again. She had twins within that time. And so now this storyline has other characters in it. It has Miss Vivica, which was his older girlfriend. He went for a cougar. Then he got Miss Phony Braxton, which is his fiance now. We got her baby daddy involved, her fourth one. His name is James. We got David, who is her first baby daddy. My goodness, we have so many characters in here in this storyline. And so what recently happened within the last 90 days, of course, Miss Brittany moved from Atlanta to North Carolina. North Carolina, I think, is her hometown. I don't know why she moved there. People think because she moved there, she's gonna be different. No, she just moved out the state. She's still the same woman, um, and she's living with somebody. I don't know if she's living with her by herself or with her dad or whatever. But she moved away. I feel like out of spite to move away from her baby daddies. She wanted to make it difficult for them to see their children. That's where we are now. And so she just recently had a birthday. I guess she went to Miami, the sunny state or whatever. And, the verdict is out, or, people are talking. Did she spend time with her fourth baby daddy, third or fourth? Because they had a little tumultuous situation from last year on out. They got in an argument of October of last year. Then they got in, she went over his home because she was mad because he was with another woman. Mind you, they're not married. I don't even think they ever had a title. They just had babies together. But she went over there, knocked on his door, damaged some things, threw some stuff out, called his girlfriend down or whomever he had upstairs. I mean, it was tumultuous. And soon after that, because everyone put that video out there of her completely spazzing out, or as you guys would call it, crashing out, she moved to another environment back home, something that she knows. And basically, that's where we are now. She's just trying to find herself in this new situation, which is old to her, but new to us, but yet new to her too. Because when she left North Carolina, originally she had 3 children and about to get married, right? Now she came back to North Carolina. She has 6 children and's been divorced, and she's in a new relationship that is called complicated. And so this man put out on her that she has an issue, which a lot of women has an issue in the department of hygiene, because a lot of us were not taught about hygiene. I'm in the midst of writing another book as well, ebook, about some things that you can do, because I have been doing this as far as helping women with hygiene for how long? Maybe 10 years? 10 years. Yeah, I started out on FB back when FB was rocking and stocking, and that was my first place of really discussing this topic. So I'm not going to, like I said before, I'm not going to make fun of her. I'm going to hopefully teach more women about this problem. Now, do men contribute to women's issues? Yes, they do. Okay, men do because they sleep around too. Now, this is the thing. I'm gonna tell you why you should not be a polygamist. So, a lot of these polygamy men and women, they are not using protection. Why? Because they're gonna go ahead and say, "This is my wife." So, when you hear wife, and even if you don't hear wife, it's people out here having unprotected relations. But when you hear wife, unprotected relations, it's just what it is. Why? Because I'm your wife. You don't even care that they have 4 and 5 different girlfriends, 4 and 5 people that they're living with. You don't know what type of intimacy they're having with these people. I mean, in this day and age, it is cruddy. It's nothing new under the sun, but it is what it is. People are cruddy today. These men are having unprotected relations from the rooter to the tutor. I'm just keeping it real. They're not washing themselves, and they can't because you can't wash on the inside. You think a woman can't wash her internal parts. A man cannot either. And that little space right there is tiny. Ain't no way they putting any kind of brush or soap or nothing. So what happens is that intimate spot, that shrimp is it's not just a one way souffle. It also basically um, can vacuum some stuff up in there, if you will. So if they're doing from the root of the tutor, you know what the root of the tutor means. If you don't, oh well, look it up. They are basically every time they whoosh whoosh, if you will, that's going up into your honey spot. It is what it is, and that's bacteria. So can you imagine this man is sleeping around? You think he's just sleeping around with you and maybe one other person? No, this Negro or whatever, he is sleeping around with 10, 12 different women and have 10, 12 different women essences inside of his shrimp, if you will. And then he's basically plugging that all into you, and you expect a woman not to have an odor? Women are what? Receivers. Okay. She went out there to find another baby daddy. Yeah, yeah, I mean, that's true. We all know that because that's all she knows how to do. Okay, so I am going to take a hiatus, you guys, for about 5 seconds. If I don't get three more, um, 3 more likes, I'm going to discontinue it because I'm already over my time. I only want to go an hour. So if you guys want more of an hour with this type of commentary, I'm gonna have to get 3 more likes. If I don't get 3 more likes, that's cool too. Thank you so much for coming in. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you have not watched the videos, go over and watch the videos so you can actually watch the content. But I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds to give me 3 more likes. But if not, I'm going to bow out and tell you guys to what? Enjoy the rest of your day, which is probably what I'm going to do anyway. Because one thing about a good storyteller is to always leave them wanting more.